Mike S.
Tell me, anybody want to tell me? Anybody want to tell me?
Yeah, keep it
man.
pressing, man. Yeah, man. So let's go back to the beginning.
All right.
Bro, because you my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where was you born and raised? Now, I know, you know what I'm saying, but born and raised, where does that?
Born and raised in Detroit. Man, I had a hell of a childhood, man. Came up, I was born in 72. Like,
Yeah.
That sounds so old right now.
Yeah.
1972.
Yeah.
But, my childhood based, the 80s, man, was incredible. Grew up in, crack was hot.
I was about to say, crack era in Detroit, baby.
Crack era in Detroit. The Lions was terrible. They're just not getting good, though. It's been a long time. But
you a diehard, though. You still support.
Listen, I was wearing Lions, but me and four crackheads wearing the shirts. Nobody else was wearing Lions shirts. And we used to see each other. Hey! Hey, what's that? You go to the tailgate? It's us.
You can have all the food.
Yeah.
I just take the crack.
I just take the crack. You eat food. But,
I ain't had chicken in years.
Born and raised, on the east side, and moved to the west side of Detroit, man. Graduated from Martin Luther King High School. Ain't that some black? You can't get no black.
It don't get no blacker
from
than
Detroit.
Martin Luther
Graduated
King.
from Martin Luther King High School
In Detroit.
in Detroit.
Detroit black enough.
Yeah, man, listen. You put the Martin Luther King High School on top of it. How black are you? And then I went to HBCU. I got blacker. I didn't realize my life could get blacker. I went to South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. Graduated from Benedict College.
Yeah.
And hey, man, once I graduated, moved to LA, and then kind of the rest is kind of history.
So, at what point in there, where did the comedy start for you? First of all, when did you get to the point where you knew you wanted to do comedy?
I started off doing plays first, though. So even as a kid, I was doing black stage plays. How about that?
I just knew you was going. I knew
Look, a raisin in the sun, Zoom in and the sign, anything black you can think of.
you was Walter Lee.
It was close to it.
Walter Lee.
I started off doing plays. I even did some there was stuff like Jesus Christ Superstar, and so I was doing some musicals and stuff like that. So I was doing plays, man, and then I went from plays to stand-up comedy. My brother Tony Roney, who's a comedian, still to this day, he teaches classes, does comedy. Tony Roney's Comic Vibe and the Crack Jokers. I came up under his tutelage as a young beginner, and my other brother Greg Shelton helped me too. God rest his soul. And he worked in Hollywood for a lot of years. He wrote for the Jamie Foxx Show, worked with Marcus King and King Management for a long time. He produced and wrote for the Image Awards. He got me my first job as a PA for the Oscars. So both my brothers were very important, in my career. But in the early days, I started, like I said, with the plays, and I went from the plays to Tony Roney saying, "Hey man, you could do, stand-up. Why don't you try to do stand-up?" And then went, and I was at a club, and it was a nice show, and it got down to the end, probably like 2 people left in the audience, and he was like, "Man, you want to try it?" And I was like, "Yeah." and then I went up, and of course I was terrible, what I'm saying? But after, I didn't make him laugh at all. But after it was over, though, I felt something. I was like, man, I want to keep doing
that
this.
bug, it don't matter what.
It was literally, I promise you, like 2 people in the DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that wouldn't be my first time experiencing 2 people in the DJ. Trust me, I went through that a lot.
No, I know what you're talking about.
So I caught the bug and went from there. Then I moved here I moved to Columbia, South Carolina. And I remember them having some comedy nights down there, and I wasn't very good, but I went and was trying to do like the Fontainebleau, all these other little spots, you know what I'm saying, that I try to go do comedy at, and I just wasn't very good. And I remember saying to myself, man, you sure you want to keep doing this? Like, I just
doing this to yourself.
Yeah, what am I doing to myself? I like pain or something, you know what I mean? And then I remember having a good show and saying, wow, okay, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I can do it. And time just built, and time, would go down, and then I would do better. Go down and do better. And then, and eventually just kind of my consistency with doing good just got there.
That's it.
And it took a long time, man, a lot of years. I remember doing BET Comedy View for the first time in 98. And I did good on Comedy View. 1998, then I got booked to do a New Year's Eve show. That same year, like going into bringing in like 99 or something, and I was struggling.
Mike S.
Ladies and gentlemen, anybody want to tell me